Hello, and welcome to my Math Basics series. So, this is a real quick lesson on how to tell time using an analog clock. Analog, of course, being the opposite of digital, which I would demonstrate, except that I'm not wearing a digital watch. So pretty much everything that we do all the time ever involves some sort of digital thing, right? Um, we always have our phones with us. We are always like within arm's reach of a tablet or a computer or a laptop or something, and everything's kind of digital. And sometimes we forget that reading an analog clock is actually a very good skill. So, I mean, if for no other reason than if we have a zombie apocalypse or there's an electromagnetic pulse, maybe our digital stuff won't work. So anyway, so this is a clock, a pretend clock. And so there are a few things that you notice about it. So first off, these big numbers in the middle, these are our hours. So there are 24 hours in a day, and they divide it into two sections. So we go like 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., that would be morning. A.m. being anti-meridian, I think it was. It's before, before noon. And then you go from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m., so noon to midnight, and that's your afternoon. So we just do 12-hour increments because it would be kind of a crazy clock if we had 24 hours in here. I mean, I guess you could, but yeah. So these big numbers here are the hours. And then you'll notice, so it's divided into 12. And then you'll notice on the outside, and a lot of times if you see a watch or a clock, it doesn't necessarily have these markings here, but this is just showing you what it is. So these on the outside are the minutes. So there are 60 minutes in an hour. So there's 60 little tick marks or hash mark, whatever you would call those, these little subdivisions here. There are 60 of them. It goes all the way here. So, okay, the hand. So this hand right here, the short one, that's your hour hand. The long one is your minute hand. So wherever the hour one is, so I'm going to turn this minute one off for just a second. So wherever this is, that would be your hour. So if it's between 12 and 1, then that means it's 12 something. We don't know what the something is unless we look at the minute hand, but we know that if it's between 12 and 1, then it's 12 o'clock. Now, this doesn't tell us AM or PM. We would probably need to know that. Or just look out the window. If it's dark, then it is 12 a.m. Of course, even that's kind of, if you live up in the Arctic Circle, okay, whatever. Now we're getting a little too far. Okay, so that's your hour hand. So whatever big numbers it's between, that's what hour it is. Now the minute hand shows us what minute it is. So if it's right here, then that would be, so this is 0 minutes, 1, 2, 3. So that would be 3 minutes. So if I turn this, so then this right here, my hour hand is pointing to the 1. My long hand is pointing to this 3 right here. So that means it's 1:03. Notice too, like as I move my minute hand, my hour hand goes with it. So like right here, my long hand is pointing straight down towards the 6, that's 30. And the hour hand is now halfway between 1 and 2, so that means it's 1:30. So this hour hand kind of moves, like it doesn't just change boom, boom, from 1 to 2. It kind of moves along as your minutes go too. So the first thing you always do is look for the short hand. That gives you your hour. Then you look for the long one. That gives you your minutes. Now, if these numbers aren't here, that's totally fine. Notice that these are multiples of 5, right? Because it's 5 divisions for each one. So let's see. Anyway, I'm going to not waste time on this, but so I was going to try to turn off the minute numbers so we could see, but okay, I have a 5-minute time limit. So yeah. So if I have say I have it right here and say I don't have these numbers on the outside, what I can do is I could go, okay, well, I know that for every one of these big ones, it's 5 minutes. So I could go 8 times 5 is 40 and it's 1 mark past that. So that would be 41. So it would be 141. So let me move it around all wild and crazy. Ooh, this one. So notice my shorthand is really close to the 5, but this is to the left side of 12. So that means that it's almost 5 o'clock, but it's not quite. So that would be 4. And then right here, this is 55, 56, 57, 58. So this is 4:58. So this is your analog clock. And at first, when you're looking at it, you may feel really slow and clumsy and like you're not getting it, but it just takes time. It takes practice.